Okay, so I've just started reading the Apocrypha, which are 55 lost books of the Bible. Actually, they were removed, but that's a different story for a different day. But I wanted to point out this really crazy connection that I made about the word no and how that relates to the fall of mankind. So I'm going to read this part to you first. This is the story of Adam and Eve after they had gone out of paradise. And Adam knew his wife Eve and went upwards to the sun rising and abode there 18 years and 2 months. And Eve conceived and bore 2 sons, Cain and Abel. Okay, let me read that to you again. And Adam knew his wife Eve. So after they had been kicked out of paradise, Adam knew his wife Eve, and she conceived sons with him. If you notice, anytime they're talking about sex, they don't say sex, they say no, K-N-O-W, okay? That's very important to understand the next part that I'm going to connect for you. Okay, so we're skipping ahead a little bit. This is the part where the serpent is deceiving Eve into eating the fruit. So listen to what this says. It says, "Then the serpent says to me, 'May God live, but I am grieved on your account, for I would not have you ignorant. But arise, come here, listen to me, and eat and mind the value of that tree.' But I said to him, 'I fear lest God be angry with me, as he told us.' And he says to me, 'Do not fear, for as soon as you eat of it, you too will be as God, in that you will know good and evil. But God perceived this, that you would be like him. So he envied you and said, You will not eat of it. No, give heed to the plant, and you will see its great glory. Yet I fear to take of the fruit. And he says to me, Come here, and I will give it to you. Follow me.'" Listen. It says, "You will know good and evil." We've traditionally been taught that it means know or knowledge. But what if this word actually means sex? And in it, she will be like God because she can create without God. She can conceive children bypassing God's authority on who is created and who is not. Because if you notice, when God created Adam, he created Eve out of his rib. There was no childbirth. There was no sex going on. There was only God deciding who is created. And he knew what was going to happen. I'm not saying God didn't know, because he knows all. He knows from beginning to end. This was another one that really stuck up to me. It says, "And when he had received the oath from me," because she had to make an oath that she would give it to her husband as well, this fruit, "he went and poured on the fruit the poison of his wickedness, which is lust, the root and beginning of every sin." There's such a deeper meaning in here, but wow, did this just... it just changed the way I understand Adam and Eve completely, and it makes so much sense. These are the things that we're missing, the context that's missing. I know a lot of people say that the Apocrypha is evil, but I think removing this information is evil because they have simplified it so much that it just leaves us not understanding, lacking the wisdom. But this makes so much sense. The first sin wasn't Eve eating an apple. It was her disobedience to God because he had a perfect plan, and she went and tried to bypass God's authority, therefore giving her authority over to the serpent. Wow. Just wow. Well, leave some comments down below. I'm going to link the Apocrypha because every time I do this, people ask me what I'm reading from. So I'm going to share it with you. Obviously, do this very, very responsibly. Don't take every word in here as just truth. Question it, eat the meat, and spit out the bones, okay? That's what I got to say.